On the 29th of March, there's going to be a partial eclipse of the sun. That's when the moon will move over the sun's disk, but won't cover it completely. Do you like the eclipse I did there? So basically what we will see from the UK is a chunk of the sun's disk which has disappeared. It's been hidden behind the silhouette of the moon. Now, there are safe ways to view this. You shouldn't look at it directly, obviously, because you'll damage your eyesight. An eclipse of the sun occurs when the moon moves between the sun and the earth. The alignment has to be such that the moon appears to actually move across the sun's disk. That doesn't happen as frequently as you might think. The moon has a roughly monthly cycle where it continually lines up with the sun in the sky. But because the moon's orbit is tilted by 5 degrees, the moon typically goes to the north or the south of the sun. It's only when you get a precise alignment that you have an event which is known as an eclipse. Now, the eclipse which is going to occur on the 29th of March is going to be a reasonably substantial one as seen from the UK. Eclipses are measured using 2 values. The first value is called magnitude, and this represents how much of the sun's diameter is covered by the moon's disk. So, for example, if the moon had passed so that it was halfway across the sun's disk, that would be a 50% magnitude eclipse. The other measure is called obscuration, and that indicates how much of the disk is covered by the moon. The maximum eclipse will be seen from the northwest of the British Isles, so northwest Scotland. The least eclipsed part of the sun will be seen from the southeast. Now, if you're in the northwest Scotland region, you'll see 57% of the sun's disk hidden by magnitude. So 57% of the diameter will be crossed by the moon's disk, which equates to an obscuration of 48%. Those in the southeast will see a 39% magnitude eclipse, so the moon's disk will move 39% of the way across the sun's disk, and they will see 28% obscuration, so not such a big eclipse. But wherever you are in the UK, you're going to see something great so long as the clouds stay out of the way. The eclipse begins with what's known as first contact. That's when the first instance of the moon's disk starts to cover the sun's disk, and that occurs at 10:07. Maximum eclipse occurs at 11:05, and then the last contact for this particular eclipse occurs at 12:03. So it's a well-timed eclipse. The sun will be at a reasonable altitude in the sky, and as I say, if the clouds stay out of the way, you should have a really good view of it. So what are methods of observing this eclipse which will make sure that your eyes are kept safe, or any equipment that you've got will be kept safe as well? One of the simplest ways to view the sun is to get a pair of certified solar eclipse glasses. They may not be the most stylish thing out there, but they do a good job. And basically, this allows you to observe the eclipse with the naked eye. You just put them on like so, can't see a thing now, and then look at the sun. As long as you don't look at the sun for extended periods of time, you'll be perfectly safe with these. Another way, which is very safe, is to take a piece of stiff card and make a 2 to 3 millimeter hole in it. You can then project the image of the sun through that hole onto another white sheet of paper or white sheet of card, and that is an image of the sun. So if you project the image of the sun during the eclipse onto a white piece of card, you'll see the shape of the eclipse as the whole event plays out. Now, you may need to hold the hole probably a meter and a half away from the white sheet of card, otherwise you won't see very much. It's just too small, but it does work particularly well. If you're into photography and you want to take a picture, then you can get solar filter material. This can be obtained from any astronomical stockist, which could be fitted over a lens or a telescope, and that allows you to look or point the instrument directly at the sun and take pictures directly. If your telescope's got a little telescope on the side of it, a finder scope, you need to make sure that that is removed, because that is a telescope in its own right. It will focus the sun's light and it will burn out the crosshairs in the finder. This is going to be quite an interesting event. So wishing you all the best with the weather.